Yo, what is going on, guys? It's Falcon, and today I have a very important video for all of you who have struggled in your life. Um, I'm mostly going to be giving some background of myself, and this is an unedited, completely raw video, and I'm just going to be very, very real with you and tell you how you can improve your life. Um, my background, my father and my mom had me at 17 and 19, very, very young. They were very, very good parents. And my parents struggled a lot with each other growing up. Me and my three siblings lived in a one-bedroom home for about 5 years. So money was always an issue, um, and we always tried to make it work. And one thing that my mom prioritized in my life was God, and more on that later. But as I started growing up, my mom was in a tragic car accident, and she nearly lost her life. And she was in critical condition. She was basically about to die, and she made it. Um, since that day, though, she was never the same. Um, as I grew up older and older, by the time I was 16 and 17, my mom had become so involved with God that there was things that she was twisting and changing, and she became obsessed with the end times. And the reason I'm telling you all of this is to give you my background and where I am now and how you can become better no matter what you go through. Because I have a story. Everybody has a story. But I'm telling you my story about where I was and where I am. And I want you guys to go from here to here. And what I'm trying to get at is there was mental abuse, there was verbal abuse, there was physical abuse, there was even spiritual abuse. I lost my touch with God because of the way that she was twisting and manipulating this idea of God. And when I was 17, I moved to my friend's house and spent 2 weeks there. And my mom convinced me that my dad was abusive, and that's not true. I will say full and clear that is not true. Um, and I went to my friend's house, and I was convinced that he was abusive because my mom put that in my mind. But eventually I got up the courage and said, yes, I love my father. I want to go live with him. So for the next year and a half, I ended up improving my entire life. I got a license. I finished high school. I got my license. I got a car. I got my GED, and I had everything that I needed to start a life. And I got my car. So I drove back to where my hometown is, and since then, there's been a lot of stuff that's going on in my life. Um, I lost my virginity, and that was probably one of my biggest downfalls. Was because my faith is a very big thing to me, and that was something that I wish I would have waited. Um, but a lot of my issue was I never felt happy with myself. I never did. Um, and as I've been moving through this journey, I went from I have had two or three apartments. I'm 21 now, and that was when I was 18 when I got all that stuff done. And since then, I've been working a lot on myself, um, to no avail though. And leading up to all of this, all I was trying to do was trying to get by, make it, and live, survive. Um, and these last 5 weeks, I can tell you, or these last 3 months have changed my life. I got my own two-bedroom apartment, and I had moved in, and I ended up getting roommates. It didn't work out, and I ended up downsizing to a one-bedroom on my own. And I will tell you that is one of the most scariest things ever, is knowing that you are in control. You can make it. You can do it on your own. And the point of this video that I'm trying to get to is the void inside yourself. This piece of your body that is never full. You're never truly happy. The only time you're happy is when you're dating someone, or you are distracting yourself with gaming or some other alcohol, pills, something like that. And I personally have not had suicidal thoughts because in my head I can't rationalize suicide, but I have had thoughts of cutting myself. I'm not going to lie. I have no marks. I've never hurt myself, but I will tell you, I know what that feeling feels like. And I have called the suicide hotline to talk to them about emotional distress. But the point that I'm trying to make in this video is what's happened these last 3 months. So that's a little bit of background for me and where I came from, what I've gone through, and if anybody would have committed suicide, it probably would have or should have been me. And I'm still here. These last 3 months, I moved into this one-bedroom apartment, and I started living on my own. And since then, I have the first 5 weeks, 6 weeks, was me being very depressed, being very lonely, feeling very alone, having a lot of emptiness. The void inside me was not filled. Nothing could fill it. So what did I do? I decided to start dating. And in that time, here's the thing with that void inside yourself. It's really weird. So I have something called rejection sensitivity dysphoria, which basically means that I tend to seek approval because I don't know my own worth, or I don't feel like I love myself. That's part of what I have. It's a side effect of ADHD, and it's sometimes one of the things that goes with ADHD. And so all my life I've always asked for approval, and every single day almost I call my dad and I say hello. And I talk to him about my problems and all that stuff. And these last 5 weeks, so I told you guys about the first 6 weeks. Well, these last 6 weeks, the newest 6 weeks, this is where the change actually happened. I found God. And for all of you people who are atheists or aren't Christians, I'm not trying to preach here, okay? I just want to make something very clear, okay? I know that Christianity is something very, very hard for a lot of people to understand, because the truth behind it is a very, very hard truth to understand that there is an all-powerful being that loves us and died for us and has saved us, and he is our redemption. And the biggest thing is I was invited to youth, and I had lost God, and I was invited to youth. I went. I thought it was all right. It wasn't, I didn't think it was anything special or anything. And then one week I was really, really depressed right before youth, and I decided I didn't want to go to youth that day. But I told myself, you know what? I think the most important thing is when you don't want to go to therapy, when you don't want to go to school, when you don't want to go to youth, that is when you need to. You absolutely need to do that. Because those are the people who are going to have your back. Those are the people who are going to support you. And most importantly, that's where God is going to see you. God has been in my life these last 6 weeks more than I could ever imagine. I go to youth now 4 or 5 times a week. That's not me bragging. That's not me saying anything. For me, that is something that I love to do. And these last 6 weeks of living on my own has completely changed my life. So now, that's basically where I am now. I am in a very good, confident, I don't need anyone. Now, granted, it's okay to want a girlfriend. It's okay to want things. The difference is you need to want them, not need them. I see so many people who have this void inside themselves, and they're fearful. They're scared of being on their own and being independent. Yes, it's absolutely terrifying, but it's a leap of faith. And part of my life that's changed so much is when I took that leap of faith, it changed my life. I was going through depression the first 3 years of my life, or from 18 to 21, though, that was the most depression I've ever had. The only time I didn't have depression was when I was in a relationship. And I can happily say now, I am more confident than I have ever been. So what I encourage you guys to do is, if you're single, or if you're not single, I want you to know that you're worthy. But don't just believe you're worthy because I told you so. Every morning you wake up, I want you to look in your mirror and say, I am worthy. I am strong. I am awesome. Do the things that you want to do, not because someone else told you to. Do the things that you enjoy. For me, that's been guitar. For me, that's been youth. For me, that's been God. Connecting with people, the right people, the best supports for my life. You will meet more positive people in church than you will probably ever meet. And yes, there is Christians who discriminate based on race, based on sexual orientation. There is people like that. but they don't make up the majority. I can tell you that right now. The people that I have met in these last 6 weeks have been connected, and they have been supportive in everything that I've done, and it has absolutely changed my life, and I wish that I could express this more, but it has completely changed my life. If you're single and you have a job and you can pay for it and you can make an apartment work, do it. No one's stopping you. And I'm telling you, it will be the best decision you ever make, because one thing that schools don't teach is to love yourself. That is the absolute most important thing. I am in the place now that I am confident. I don't need a girlfriend. I might want a girlfriend, but I don't need a girlfriend. I uninstalled all the apps. I turned away from sin. I repented from it, and I am growing. And every day I wake up, I know that someone's looking out for me because I have God. And it is so hard because I see so many people, just friends, family, my sisters, my brothers, they've gotten to the point where they don't feel worthy. They don't feel confident. And it upsets me because I know that they will never admit it to me. But I want them to know that I do love and respect them. But they're trying to fill a hole inside them that can't be filled with another person. I know that being with someone makes you feel good. I completely understand that. That's what I've done. I've bullshitted my happiness for the last 3 years. Completely. Every time I'm with someone, I'm happy and everything's on cloud 9. And then they leave, and then my world is back to depression and anxiety. Suicidal thoughts. Stuff like that. The only way that you're going to find someone who loves you is if you love yourself first. And this is the message that I want to send to people who are 18 through however older than that. If you're 18 or older, this is for you. If you're in a relationship where you can honestly sit down and honestly tell yourself, this isn't right for me. Don't make the excuse because you love them. A lot of people say, hey, I love them. And I get that. I've been in toxic relationships. I've been in abusive relationships where someone says I love you and all of a sudden you can't get them out of your mind. But that is no reason for you to stay in an abusive relationship. You are worth more than that. And I can tell you, I've never been more happy than I am right now. And after explaining my backstory to you guys, it's crazy because my mom took my brother to Kentucky. And I'm in Michigan. I haven't seen my brother in 2 years. Haven't spoken to my mom to 2 years. They've disappeared. My brother is out of my life as far as I know. I don't even know where he is. I don't know where my mom is. She hasn't spoken to me in 2 years. That is really, really hard. I can tell you that. So I understand stress. I understand abuse. I understand manipulation and toxic relationships. But what I'm trying to let you know is you are worth it. You are amazing. You are awesome. Wake up every day. Don't think about what they're doing. What they're doing doesn't matter. What do you want to do? Do you want to work out? Do you want to learn an instrument? Do you want to love God? Do you not want to love God? What do you want to do with your life? It is so hard for people to understand that this void inside yourself, it can't be filled by someone else. Someone's love should add to you, not fill it for you. If I'm full and overflowing, I don't want to be with someone who's not good with themselves. If I'm full, I want someone else to be full. And I want to be a team with them. But, sorry guys, this is really, really hard. But, what I'm trying to get at is, if you love yourself first, they should add to you. They shouldn't make you happy. They should be one other reason why you're happy. your happiness first. You are happy because of yourself, and then you have someone else who makes you happy. You shouldn't need them to be happy. Ask yourself, if I wasn't with this person, would I be happy? If you broke up with them right now, would you be happy? Would you be okay? And if the answer is no, then you don't love yourself. You don't believe you're worthy. And the truth is, we should love ourselves. We should believe we're worthy. God has created us in the most perfect way, and we may never understand why. We truly may not. But I have this calling, and I truly believe that God has put me here for a reason, and that's the reason I'm making this video. I truly believe that I have a message that I want to send to all of you and prove to you guys, you are amazing, all of you. But again, don't believe that because I say it. You have to believe that for yourself. If you don't believe it for yourself, it means nothing. What I say means nothing. If you love yourself inside, you don't need anything in this world. For example, I know people who have lived their whole lives 60, 65, 70 years old. I ask them, are you happy? They say no. They've gone through 65 years of life, and they're not happy at 65? I know people who've done almost everything, and they're not happy. Well, they've done everything, so why aren't they happy? It's because there's still a void inside. Those things, those materials, those traveling, all of that doesn't make you happy. That's bullshit. Nothing makes you happy. You make yourself happy. Nothing else other than yourself can make you happy. Truly happy. If I love myself, someone else can add to me, but if I don't love myself, no one can really add anything. It's a delusion to believe that someone else can fill me up. And some of you may say, well, if a guy and a girl are together and they both aren't that, I'm going to use the term full, meaning this is full, or empty if it's your void is empty. If you match an empty person with an empty person, yeah, they may add to each other, but they don't actually love themselves. How do you think that's going to work? It's not going to work very well. It's not. If you don't love yourself, nothing good is going to work out. If you're 18 plus, I highly encourage you, if you are single or if you're in a relationship and you don't think you'd be happy without them, I encourage you to go get your own place. I encourage you to take the leap of faith and go do it. It is terrifying as hell. I'm not going to lie to you. It is terrifying as hell thinking about living alone. And one thing I did is I got a kitten, and she's amazing. Her name's Peace. I might show her at the end of the video, but it has changed my life. And I have never been this content and happy in my life. And I'm single still. I am still single. I don't need anyone. I want people. Wanting something is better than needing something. The only thing that I need in my life is God. I want a close relationship with my dad, and I do have it, and I love him very, very much. I want relationships with my family, and I do. I love them all very, very much, and I support them in everything that they do. But what's most important is that you love yourself. If you don't love yourself, why are we here? If you move on your own, you will not regret it. You may be depressed for a couple weeks. That's what I went through. You might hit that, you'll hit rock bottom. If you're single and alone, you will hit rock bottom. You will. Now, if you have God, that might be a different story. If you have God, He's got you. And I can tell you, my attitude's completely improved in the last 6 weeks. I used to wake up every day and not know whether I'm going to be depressed in the next 20 minutes or not. Throughout the whole day. Am I going to be depressed in 20 minutes? I don't know. Who knows? But the fact that I have God has completely changed that. And I encourage you, move on your own. Find God. And I'm going to be honest, This is to the atheists and the non-Christians as well. Like I said in the beginning, it is very hard to understand that this could be real. Or, sorry, you guys didn't know what I was pointing at. It's hard to believe that this could be real. That God is real. It is the hardest truth any one person can ever face. Is there an almighty being? This is him. And I truly believe that if you move on your own and you find God, I want to hear about it. I want to hear about your stories. I'm actually going to leave my phone number in the description below so you guys can call me, text me, talk about it. I would love to encourage all of you to text me, shoot me a message, tell me about your story. I'll talk to you on the phone. If you're in town, I'll come meet you. I care about all of you guys, and I know what you guys are worth. I didn't know what I was worth for my whole life until I really got my own place and found God, and truly found God. Surrendered everything to him. Everything that I have is his. Anything that I make for myself, he has helped me make. I can't do anything myself without God. So if you're single and you're depressed, or if you're with someone and you're happy, but wouldn't be happy without him, it may sound really rash, but maybe you should double check your relationship. If I'm not happy without him, then why am I with him? If he's the sole reason I'm happy, that's a problem. Loving yourself comes first. Period. End of story. And wrapping this up, it's been very, very heavy on my heart because I know it's very, very hard to deal with a lot of these things. I've been through a lot of stuff. There's a lot of stuff I haven't even mentioned. I can't put my life in a 10-minute summary. I really can't. It would take hours. I've been through a lot of stuff. I've been through people wanting to commit suicide. I've been through a lot of different stuff. But I can tell you, if you think about it this way, if you're a suicidal person and you're watching this video, this is what I want you to know. Okay? If your life sucks so bad right now, it can't go anywhere but up, can it? If you're at absolute rock bottom, how could it get any worse? It can't. The only place it can go is up. The only place it can go is up. I've seen people who've lost their family. I've seen people who've been with someone who committed suicide. And it's very depressing, and it can put you in a really bad place. I've had people go through that at the same time. It is tragic. But there's nowhere for you to go but up. If you have God, everything is going to change your life. I feel called to do this. I don't know why, but I do. I was sitting in my car door dashing, and something spoke to me and said, you need to make this video. I can't explain why. I didn't think I would ever testify about what my family's done and what I've been through. But I think it's a message that people need to know. Because I want to change lives. I want to change your lives. I want you guys to know that you guys should love yourselves for yourself. Don't care about what your boyfriend thinks. Don't care about what your family thinks. You should love yourself first. And if you need help, I will help guide you. I can read some scriptures to you. I can talk to you. If you just need someone to talk to, you can call me. I want nothing more than for everyone to be happy. And this is a fucked up society. And including gays, bisexuals, any sexual orientation, polyamorous, Mormonism, anything. I do accept you, and you are loved. The rapists, the prisoners, everyone, they all deserve love. All of them. And I know that's hard to do, and I know that's hard to forgive what they've done. Everyone deserves love. Love yourself, and then love someone else. You can't love someone else unless you love yourself first. I wish you all the best, and I thank you so much for watching this video and making it to the end. I know I was talking a lot in this video, but I have a very strong message that I need to send. I don't know why, like I said, but I know I need to send this. So, I love you all. Again, if you guys need someone to talk to, my number's in the description, and I wish you all a fantastic day.